The Chiefs are in serious talks to trade Tyreek Hill, per league sources. Hill and the Chiefs are mulling what to do, but Hill's time in Kansas City looks like it could be coming to an end. This is absolutely league-shattering, earth-shattering news.
He's a legend.
This is not a little thing. Tyreek Hill being a bad human, we already had that discussion. We know all about that. We're not going to discuss that. We understand that is a thing. We're going to discuss the NFL ramifications, why this is a thing all of a sudden, and what are the possibilities, because there is two teams that are there. And Schefter followed up. Apparently Lightning McQueen also. Thank you, DraftKings. Jets and Dolphins both now have trades in place for the soon to be former Chiefs wide receiver Tyreek Hill. The question now becomes where Hill wants to become the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. Once he decides the trade is expected to happen, for now, Hill is said to be torn. He doesn't know where he wants to play. Does he want to play in Miami and be with Jalen Waddle and Tua or whoever else they end up with there somewhere down the road if Tua doesn't pan out to be the guy? Or does he want to go to the New York Jets and wear Kelly Green and then be Zach Wilson's guy? Wilson appears to be a better deep ball thrower, at least at this point in their careers, and has that gunslinger sort of mentality where he's just going to fire it. They said it's going to be like a 1 and a 2. Both teams have high first round picks this year. What is Kansas City going to do, right? First of all, why is Kansas City going to do? And the reason why Kansas City is going to do a thing like this, have y'all heard of Patrick Mahomes? He's a good player. He's also has 5 years of experience in the NFL, which means that while he did not cost very much in 2020 and he did not cost very much in 2021, he is going to start costing $35, almost $36 million a year, elevating to 46, 44, 46, 41, 59, 44. So like as Tyreek Hill enters this point in his career, and we're going to talk about Tyreek Hill and why this is important. You now have to pay him. And that Devante Adams contract that he just signed with the Raiders is going to have ripple effects. There's going to be fallout from that. They made Devante Adams the highest paid guy at his position ever. So now you have to wonder, okay, well, if he's the highest paid guy ever at that position, what does that mean for other players who are at least comparable? So Devante Adams, here's his new contract, 29 into his 29-year-old season. He's got 8 years of experience, 29 and a half, let's say. 30 million, 21 million, 40 million. Like it's a massive contract. 5 years, 140 years. There's a potential out in 2025, but like you'd have some dead cap, but not all that much. Secured the bag for sure. Look at what they did with Tyreek Hill when he got drafted. He came into the league and, 5th round draft pick, massive value. Base salary, guaranteed salary because he signed that extension, 16 million, 12 million. But now you're going to have to pay him up in this range, 30 million, 40 million per season in terms of your cap hit. That's not something that you can stomach when you've got a quarterback that's now off his rookie scale. You're already paying Kelsey. You have to pay offensive linemen. You have to pay all these other guys. So you kind of can't tie all that up anymore. You cannot do that. Not possible. So here's the trade. Chiefs are trading 6-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins for 5 draft picks, a 2022 first, number 29 overall, a 2nd round pick, and a 4th round pick, and a 4th and a 6th next year. Is it just picks? There's no players involved? Are there actually no, like this is breaking as we go. Yeah, there may be players. Yeah, so this is going to come out in somewhat of a trickle. The first thought that comes to mind, there's no one player in an offense that is going to replace what Tyreek Hill, okay? So Jim from Numberfire tweeted out, Tyreek Hill missed, I'm reading the quoted tweet first, missed 4 games in 2019. Patrick Mahomes without Hill that year from Next Gen Stats, 0.24 EPA per dropback, 50% passing success rate, and without him, 0.19 EPA per dropback. Now, like people are, well, that's not that big of a deal, 48%. But if we look back to 2019 to 2021, with Tyreek Hill, that seemed like it was pretty sticky, right? 23 EPA, 52% passing success, but without him, 0.12 per dropback. Because what Tyreek Hill brings to this Chiefs offense is just that much different. It's just that much different. Why won't they pay him? Because they can't. They can't make him the highest paid guy. My question is, what happens to somebody like, what's his name? It was on Miami last year. It was on Houston before. Will Fuller. What happens with Will Fuller? Because while no one player is going to replace Tyreek Hill, Tyreek Hill is, as a player, a Hall of Fame caliber wide receiver, right? He is an all-timer. He is the type of player who changes the way that a defense has to defend, which also makes it easier on his quarterback because, and everybody else on that team, it's a trickle down thing, right? So like Kelsey operates over the short to intermediate and can also get up the seam, but like Hill demands that over the top coverage. And if you don't, it's a touchdown. And if you remember all the regression conversations that we had with Tyreek Hill, right? Adam used to call him Ty Fluke, because nobody had done what he had done. Nobody had like 8 or 10 touchdowns over 30 yards in a season. So like from a regression standpoint, if this is not what people do, then people cannot continue doing that. They are an outlier. And Tyreek Hill is very clearly an outlier, that he can do all of these things. This is just who he is. Not unlike, and I'm not saying that he's the LeBron James of football, but like LeBron James is an outlier. Nobody's been as good as LeBron James has for as long as LeBron James has been as good as LeBron James has been. It's impossible what he's doing in like for the second decade, like season 18-19. It's impossible what Tyreek Hill has done for 5 straight years. It's not possible. And all of the things, if you compare all the wide receivers who are getting paid, who have gotten paid, who have done the things that Tyreek Hill has done, all of them are over the age of 29. I think Mike tweeted this out. Let me find Mike Clay and his tweet. Like, they're all older than he is. I have to find it. I got you, fam. M. Fuller, thank you very much for the 12 months, which clearly divides by 12. Of the top 30 wide receivers in receiving yards last season, only one was older than 28 years old in week 1. Keenan Allen. Tyreek Hill is 28 years old. So, like, you're giving these contracts to guys who are, you get paid for what you have done, especially wide receiver, when, like, the younger guys are just going to be more spry. So, like, why Kansas City doesn't want to pay him this massive deal is, one, they can't fit it. They know no one player is going to replace Tyreek Hill, but it's that back end of that deal. On the other side of this, chat is reporting. Thank you, chat, for helping me along with this video because, it just kind of is what it is. When news breaks and we have to talk about it, it changes everything. So, like, I'm kind of reading to it. You see me looking down here. That's me reading Twitter. So he signed a 4-year, $120 million deal with $72.2 million guaranteed. Why don't you guys tell me, what is the most powerful contract in American sports today? I'll leave it to you guys. Kansas City is exiting that contract. Both Miami and the Jets are still in that window. And so if you want to give your quarterback who's on that rookie QB deal the best chance to be successful, giving Tyreek Hill this contract isn't as egregious as it would be if you're paying a veteran quarterback, because you can afford it. And if your rookie quarterback isn't the guy, you've done everything you can to try and make sure that they are, and you're not going to be in salary cap hell, because by the time you exit this deal and or replace him with a brand new rookie quarterback or a bridge quarterback, because the rookie doesn't work out. I'm not saying Tua isn't going to work out, but in case he doesn't, because there are question marks at this point, whether or not he will be able to be the stud that he was drafted to be. But you're giving him all opportunities to be that guy. And if it doesn't work out, this contract ends when his rookie deal ends. And if it does work out, this contract ends when his rookie deal ends, and then you can replace with something else or build around it. So it makes more sense for a team with a rookie quarterback, or a team with a quarterback on a rookie scale contract, to go take on a wide receiver like this, at least to me. This takes away most of the excuses from Tua. They're giving him the weapons. It's on him and the play calling to make it work. I agree. I think the play calling should be there. The question is going to be, how is Miami's new coach, who comes straight from San Francisco's offense, an offense that does not require a high ADOT type of passer to be a part of it? They've got plenty of speed with Waddle and Tyreek Hill. They also have guys who have that speed who can win at short and intermediate levels, which is somewhat unique to guys like Hill is an excellent route runner. So is Jalen Waddle. May have been behind only his college teammate Devante Smith in terms of being the best route runner in that class last year. They both get great separation in the short to intermediate route, and they can, one can take the roof off of a defense. Now you add Tyreek Hill. You can't double either of those guys, and it's going to open up everything else underneath for guys like Gesicki. And if they can have a coach, which they do, who knows how to get the ball into the hands of these guys and create and scheme to get them the ball in space and let them do their thing, Tua could look pretty good, at least as good as Jimmy G looked in that type of offense last year. They brought in Mostert. They've got depth at running back that can catch the ball and plenty of speed on hand, especially including somebody like Gesicki at tight end, who is one of the biggest freaks at tight end that there is. How does Kansas City deal with this, though? Because you remove Tyreek Hill from that offense, and that offense now is totally different. Because Tyreek Hill, in my opinion, I remember making this argument before Mahomes' first year. You guys remember, I was way higher than consensus on Patrick Mahomes his rookie year as a fantasy asset. I had him as a top 10 quarterback. I think I had him as my 8 or 9 quarterback coming into that season. And I think the consensus was each with 14 to 16 because people didn't want to commit to putting him higher. I was like, you're sliding a quarterback who's capable into an offense that has all the right pieces in all the right places, and all of them complement one another extremely well. You have the game-breaking tight end who wins everywhere on the field and in the end zone. You have a game-breaking wide receiver on the outside, a Hall of Fame coach, excellent pass-catching running backs, and you just drop this kid into that offense. At the time, it was Kareem Hunt, and they had Tyreek Hill on the outside. Any competent quarterback would have had a really great season. Alex Smith had the best season of his career the year before, and Patrick Mahomes was a better thrower. Fast forward to 2022 now. Tyreek Hill out of that offense. They signed Juju Smith-Schuster. Juju Smith-Schuster is no Tyreek Hill, right? He's no Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's the kind of guy who's going to fall off hard when he loses a bit of his speed. I mean, guys don't always just lose their speed. The same thing was said about LeBron James. Again, LeBron James, when he loses his bounce, is not going to be as good a player because he lives on his athleticism and being bigger, faster, stronger, and playing with his nose at the rim. It's he's still doing that, and he's 38. So some guys just don't. Darryl Green never lost his speed either. He played to his late 30s. Some guys just don't lose their speed at that level of drop-off. But in Tyreek Hill's favor is his game isn't all speed. I kind of don't like that argument with him. When a guy like Mecole Hardman loses his speed, there ain't much else to Mecole Hardman's game. Mecole Hardman doesn't win in all the areas that Tyreek Hill wins. So when Mecole Hardman loses his speed or Conley loses his speed, guys who only rely on their athleticism, and that's all that they have, Tyreek Hill is an excellent route runner. Tyreek Hill gets open. Tyreek Hill gets separation. And it's not just speed doesn't get you separation. Feet get you separation. So getting back to where I was at, no one player in the NFL is going to replace Tyreek Hill in that Chiefs offense. Juju Smith-Schuster sure as hell ain't going to be the guy. But what if? What if they bring in Will Fuller? CGV, thank you for the 43 months. The Chiefs just did what? If they bring in a guy like Will Fuller, a player who is shown to be an elevator, right? Quarterbacks who play with Will Fuller, the games that they play, their numbers are a lot better in the games that they play with Will Fuller on the field versus without Will Fuller on the field. So if they were to bring in a player like that, and he's healthy both physically and mentally, yes, they were looking at MVS was the rumor that he was going to be the guy. They could get Jakeem Grant. Jakeem Grant is not an elevator. He's a special teams guy. There's a difference. It's not Madden, guys. We can't just say, well, this guy has a 96 speed and we're going to plug him in here and we'll be fine because I'm going to control them with, it doesn't work that way. If they get an actual elevator on the outside, in his prime, Djax was an elevator. He's no longer that. But if they get a guy like that and put him on the outside with Juju Smith-Schuster and another wide receiver, because they lost Pringle too. Not that Pringle's an elevator, but he was a functional, player in that offense when given an opportunity. They need to get 2 more professional wide receivers or 1 more professional wide receiver a la a Will Fuller. And with that draft pick that they got, you're projecting to get one of the young rookie wide receivers. Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster, let's say Will Fuller or some comparable player to Will Fuller, and one of these rookie wide receivers, like we just talked about on the video with Reeves and JJ. Go check that video out as well if you haven't already. Initiated, thank you for the 33 months, says Hardman season. It's never Hardman season. If they go and do that, I think that the Chiefs can at least operate and provide Patrick Mahomes with the weapons that he needs on the outside for him to be successful, for him to be his best self. And they can do that for way less than what Tyreek Hill is going to cost in salary this year and the next 3. I like this trade for the Dolphins, even though in theory it's not what you should do. The calculus changes when you have a quarterback on a rookie scale deal. And I love how aggressive these teams have been. The Bengals are being super aggressive around around their rookie quarterback. They're being super aggressive with the quarterback they got on a rookie scale contract. They know they're in the championship window. They just went to the Super Bowl. The Chargers being super aggressive, going out and getting every single player they can. They don't need to get offensive players. They have the offensive players. They have a very good offensive line and invested in it last offseason. So they went out and got Khalil Mack. They went out and they got J.C. Jackson, players that cost them a lot of money that they can put around Herbert. And knowing that they're in a division with like a bunch of Hall of Fame quarterbacks now, they have to get guys that either help their quarterback or disrupt the other team's quarterback. I love how aggressive they've been. And now I love the way that the Dolphins are being aggressive, and the Jets were trying to be aggressive around their rookie deal quarterback. So while it bucks the trend of keep piling up assets, don't spend a lot of money on a guy, that calculus changes when you have a quarterback on a rookie scale. You have to put that quarterback in the best positions to be successful that you can. And I do believe that the Dolphins have just kind of done that. I do believe that they just kind of did that, which is interesting. Now, the other side of that, the Kansas City Chiefs exiting that window, no longer having that quarterback on a rookie scale, they got to change the way that they do business. So they can't afford to have another $40 million guy, $30 million guy outside of their $30 to $50 million quarterback. They have to piece it together with functional players, at least and until the point where the salary cap explodes, which many teams are banking is going to happen in the next couple of years with the new TV deals that are coming down the road. So like, they're setting themselves up to win. If you have a quarterback, you lock that guy up for as long as you can lock that guy up, and then you fill in around him, and then the salary cap should expand in the next 2 to 4 seasons. And when it does, you'll be fine around these new inflated quarterback contracts. So that's the trade. We're going to see if it works out. It's interesting from a fantasy perspective. Obviously, somebody like Jalen Waddle, his dynasty values got to go down now because he's not the number 1 guy. He's not going to potentially get 150 targets, but his targets per target are going to be more valuable now that he is not going to be doubled pretty much ever, as good as a route runner he's going to get. And then on the other side of it, I think Tua, his value has to be an elevator up. And then Juju Smith-Schuster's draft value clearly up today versus where it was yesterday in redraft. It's going to be it's already been a fun offseason. It's going to continue being a fun offseason. So thanks for watching. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.